We have a winner. We now know who the next president of the United States will be, and what better way to celebrate Donald Trump than show off the New York skyline. The Empire State Building featured the election results projected right on the side of the building. You see it there. Once Trump was declared the winner, you can see his photo on there as well on the New York landmark.
From that image to this image behind us, certainly not everybody was happy with the election results this morning. Some protesters set fires in California.
Hundreds of people took to the streets of San Francisco, Berkeley, Oakland, and San Jose. Protesters started fires, burned Trump effigies, and blocked freeways. One protester was seriously injured when she was hit by a car. She was rushed to the hospital with some serious injuries. Student protests also broke out at UC Berkeley, San Francisco State, San Jose State, and UC Santa Cruz.
Well, as the election results were announced overnight, so many people, most of them Americans, visited the Canadian immigration website that had actually crashed for a while. It's back somewhat. Access to the site is still spotty. But online searches about moving to Canada and gaining citizenship have become more popular in recent months, especially after Donald Trump won the GOP presidential nomination a while back. As for global and U.S. stock futures, those markets are not reacting well, at least right now, to the election news. At one point, the Dow futures dropped more than 800 points before rebounding to a loss of about 300. Mexico's peso plunged more than 8% so far, and stock indices across Asia also took a nosedive. Stocks in Japan, went down more than 5%, and markets in Hong Kong dropped about 3%.
And in other financial news now, more bad news for GoPro. The camera maker is recalling a batch of its new Karma drones. Some of the $800 gadgets have been losing power mid-air, causing safety concerns. The recall includes about 2,500 drones that were sold since October 23rd. The company is offering customers a full refund. GoPro's stock has recently dropped by about 20% because of bad sales. All right, 6:45, we're checking in with Rachel to find out what's happening out there. There has been some problems already this morning.
Yeah,
right?
We still have a couple of problems out there, guys, and we have delays that are starting to build up, too. Now, the eastbound side of 691, we've got a crash right out by exit 7. Delays are in from exit 5 right now. Left lane is blocked there. We also have a serious crash along 91 northbound on the off-ramp. This is out by exit 20. That's shut down. The crash itself is along Country Club Road. There was a car that struck a tree. There were serious injuries there. Lifestar was called to the scene, and so that off-ramp is shut down. The highway itself is open and moving through just fine, but that may impact your drive just a little bit there if you're heading into Middletown. Southbound side of I-95 looks great out of East Haven right down to New Haven. Totally different story into Fairfield County, where we are jammed up quite a bit. 24 minutes from Bridgeport to Fairfield. Same deal on the Parkway, southbound Trumbull to Westport. And take a look outside. This is I-91. Now, we're busy here north and southbound side. State Police were looking for a reported crash. Looks like on the shoulder there by 35A and B. No huge problem, but just certainly building volume out there as well. And looks like
at the top left of the screen there?
Top there, yeah. So they were checking on reports of that. So there we go. That's the Mattress Firm traffic report. Sleepy's is now Mattress Firm with more selection, service, and savings.
Things are fairly quiet.
Yeah,
here
you've got
in
it
the
easy.
department. Yeah,
It's
been so nice. And I can't remember a stretch of time where you had several months where there's just been nothing going on. I mean, we haven't had really any major storms, and I don't want to jinx anything, you know.
Winter might turn around and make you change your tune over there.
But like during the summer, we had no severe thunderstorms and no tornadoes or anything like that.
Good.
Now we haven't really had any major snowstorms yet or any big windstorms. It's just so quiet. Just throw them up. Just sit down and get the lazy boy out in the weather center. That's what we need here. So it's just wonderful out there. And as we go on for today, we're going to have a little bit more cloud cover and maybe some rain as well, but not much. Once again, that's the way it's been the last couple of months, just not much in terms of rainfall. Yesterday was a gorgeous day. Temperatures got up to the 60s, wonderful weather, even near 70 degrees across parts of the state and way above average. The average high for this time of year is 55, the average low is 35. So we started off cool yesterday, ended up on a nice warm note. And the record high today is 77. That will not be broken. Temperatures today will be essentially average. We're starting off in the 30s and 40s. We're going to end up in the 50s to near 60 degrees. degrees as we go on for the afternoon. So really not much going on here. Here's what we have on the temperature map this morning. These are current temperatures across the state. 41 in Putnam, 36 Windsor Locks, 38 in Hartford, 46 in Torrington, 41 in New Haven, and 40 in Meriden. So you really don't need a major winter jacket this morning, but you need a jacket of some kind because it is a little on the cool side, but no major frost or anything like that. We do have some rain coming in as we go on for the middle of the day, and even by mid-morning you could be seeing a few of those showers around. So I would bring the umbrella just to be safe. Luckily, we're not dealing with any wind, so your umbrella is not going to be tough to hold onto or anything like that. Nice calm winds around 3 to 5 miles per hour in a few spots. No big problems in terms of wind today. Temperatures across the nation are looking like a little bit on the mild side down to our south, but it's starting to show signs of cooling off a bit. We have a bit of a cool air mass up to our north and west. So an Arctic front is going to make its way through as we go on for Friday, and that'll actually cool us off for Saturday. Saturday looks to be a pretty chilly day. Temperatures only topping out in the 40s. For high temperatures on Saturday. Here's what we have on the radar right now. This is what's called radar junk. It's not actually raining across Fairfield County. The radar is just a little bit more sensitive right now, so it's just picking up things that, things like bugs or planes or dust, things like that. It's picking those up. But off to our west, that's where we do actually see a few of those showers. Nothing overly heavy, but you'll be dealing with some of that as we go on for the next several hours. It looks like around 9, 10, 11 o'clock, sometime around there, you could be dealing with the first couple of showers making their way in and moving across the state from west to east. When you slap the satellite on there, you can see a lot of clouds around the area. So mostly cloudy skies is what we're expecting during the day today. Certainly not a beautiful looking day, but not a terrible day either. Here's the rain as it moves through. There's 4 or 5 p.m., even as late as 5:30, still dealing with a couple of those showers and those temperatures in the 50s generally as we go on for the afternoon and into the early evening. Once the sun goes down at around 4:30 or so, we'll be seeing those temperatures fall off down to the 30s tonight, so it's going to be a fairly chilly night. And then for tomorrow, cool weather, but seasonable. Temperatures staying in the 50s as you go on for your Thursday. Mostly sunny skies, so tomorrow looks like a pretty good day. And then that front comes through on Friday, and we have cooler temperatures for Friday and Saturday. It looks like Saturday will only be in the 40s, as I mentioned. So in terms of rainfall amounts, not very impressive. Maybe 1/10 of an inch, could be a couple quarter-inch amounts with this rain coming through during the day today, and it dries out by tomorrow, as I mentioned. So the 50s as we go on for Friday, and then look what happens by Saturday. Cooler, blustery, breezy, and then just on the chilly side, 40s for high temperatures in the Hartford area and really all across the state on Saturday. We start to warm things up a little bit by Sunday. So here's what you have out there today. Temperatures in the 50s to near 60. Well, let's say 58 in Hartford, 61 possibly in Meriden. Could get up to 64 in the Groton area and 60 degrees even in New Haven. Mostly cloudy skies with a couple of those scattered showers across the area. Not much wind either. Partly cloudy and fairly brisk tonight as we start to cool things off. Temperatures into the upper 20s and some low to mid 30s. So a fairly chilly night. Could be a little bit of frost across the area, but not looking incredibly likely. By tomorrow, mostly sunny, seasonable. Temperatures topping out in the 50s. No big issues there. And a little bit of a breeze shifting to a southwest wind around 5 to 15 miles per hour. Your Fox 61 7-day forecast has those temperatures in the 50s again. There you go on Thursday and Friday as well. But then the cool day, Saturday, coming in at 44 degrees. That's going to be chilly if you're going to be outside for any 5Ks or any outdoor events or anything like that. By Sunday, you start to warm things up a little bit, up to the mid-50s. Seasonable, of course. That's where we usually are for this time of year. And then Monday and Tuesday, in the 50s to near 60 degrees. So yeah, no real extremes here. Just a little bit of a chilly day on Saturday. Other than that, it's just kind of, par. You're just smooth sailing all the way through.
And extremely dry, though.
Yeah, and of course we do need that rain so badly, but there's just none of it at all. Maybe next week we'll hopefully get into something, but until then, nothing.
All right, Dan, thanks.
Thanks.
Much more Good Day Connecticut on the way. Please stay with us. We're going to continue our special election results coverage with more on Donald Trump's big win coming up. Stay with us. 6:55, we have all the big headlines for you as we cover the latest on the election results that came in overnight.
And of course, starting off at the top of the ticket in the presidential race, Donald Trump will now be the next president of the United States come January. He won a series of major swing states, including Ohio, North Carolina, and Florida.
Now we will have a Republican president and Republican Congress. The GOP held on to control of the U.S. House and Senate. Connecticut's congressional lawmakers are holding on to their positions in Congress. Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal and the 5 Democratic U.S. reps were reelected.
And in terms of the Connecticut lawmakers, in Hartford, Democrats maintained control of the House 79-72 after Republicans picked up 8 seats. But the state Senate now has an 18-18 tie. That hasn't happened in Connecticut in the last century. By the way, if you're curious, the Lieutenant Governor, Nancy Wyman, will be the one to break any tied votes.
Coming up next for you here on Good Day Connecticut this morning, Donald Trump made the biggest speech of his life at about 3 o'clock this morning. We're going to get you the highlights of his presidential acceptance speech. That's coming up.
And several states also voted to legalize recreational marijuana, including one that's very close to Connecticut. We'll have an update on the new rules coming up.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next president of the United States, Donald Trump.
Republican Donald Trump is celebrating a historic victory this morning.
I promise you that I will not let you down. We will do a great job.
No speech from Hillary Clinton.
Everybody should head home.
As the president-elect lays out his plans for the future of the country.
America will no longer settle for anything less than the best.
President Obama sends out a reassuring message to a divided nation.
And remember, no matter what happens, the sun will rise in the morning.
Expect more from Fox 61 with our team covering all that, plus the local election results, all right now on Good Day Connecticut.
I love this country.
Thank you for joining us for an important day in United States history. I'm Tim Lammers.
And I'm Erica Arias. Once again, we are talking about this historic win. What a big day for our nation.
Yeah, Donald Trump has beaten Hillary Clinton. Interestingly enough, he's got a pretty good margin in the Electoral College. As of this moment, though, the national vote, Hillary Clinton's slightly ahead.
We are going to be checking in with Emily Schmidt. She is starting off our live team coverage for us from New York right now. Emily, good morning.
Good morning. Donald Trump quickly gathered more electoral votes than he needed to win the president-elect position. However, if you look at the popular vote, it's a much closer race. We don't pick a president based on popular votes, but right now they're virtually tied. In fact, Hillary Clinton has about a 30,000 vote lead. That's why it was so hard for so many people who were her supporters to believe that they were watching this unexpected Donald Trump acceptance speech.
I love this country.
It is the first few expected. Donald Trump, the first person since Dwight Eisenhower who never held office before the campaign, now the United States president-elect.
Now it's time for America to bind the wounds of division.
Trump thanked his competitor, Democrat Hillary Clinton, who called Trump to concede the race but did not address supporters who had gathered in a glass-ceilinged convention center for what they had hoped would be her victory party. Her campaign advisor spoke briefly instead.
We are so proud of her. She's done an amazing job.
Clinton entered Election Day leading in national polls with what political experts said was a clearer path to the 270 electoral votes needed to win the race. Through the night, that path narrowed until it closed completely. Key states like Florida, Ohio, and North Carolina went to Trump. So did safe states like Wisconsin the Clinton campaign thought were locked up. Clinton had a night of not enoughs, winning 88% of the African-American vote, but not as much as President Obama captured 4 years ago. She also won less of the Latino, white, and young people vote than Obama had.
Donald Trump has tweeted this morning his official account saying, "Such a beautiful and important evening. The forgotten man and woman will never be forgotten again. We will all come together as never before." We have been told that President Obama has spoken with Donald Trump. They are scheduled to meet in Washington later this week. We also expect Hillary Clinton will speak later today. Reporting live in New York, I'm Emily Schmidt. Now back to you.
Emily, thanks. Well, right now we're taking a look at what led to Trump's victory.
Yeah, Amanda Ross here with more on the Electoral College map, which of course is what matters.
Yeah, exactly. And here it is right for you. Let's break it down and look at this map to see just how Donald Trump claimed his victory. Now, we are still waiting on a few states this morning. You can see them here in yellow. That's New Hampshire, Michigan, Minnesota, and also one district in Nebraska. Now, right now, Trump has 289 electoral votes. That is up against Clinton's 218. As you can see by the red areas on this map, he did win most in the central and southern part of the country, including the key battleground states of Florida, Ohio, and also North Carolina. You'll remember that Ohio has actually picked the national winner for decades now, and that rings true again this year. Now, Hillary Clinton did pull in some major states. You can see them in blue, like California. We also had Nevada and New York and a lot of the northeastern part of the country right here. But ultimately, it wasn't enough. And Donald Trump did surpass that 270 electoral votes needed to take the presidency. Erica and Tim.
All right, Amanda, thanks. Well, lots more election results coming up. But first, we are getting a check on the forecast. Meteorologist Danny Moranti is on Weather Watch there. And no complaints. No questions weather-wise at all.
Yeah. And just like it says right there, we have some rain on the way for today, but really not much. It's going to be a mainly dry day. So we're talking about a little bit of shower activity with a lot of clouds around today, but this is not going to be a soaker by any means and certainly not a washout. So you will want to bring the umbrella if you're headed outside. Kind of a cloudy looking sky from Mohawk Mountain right now. And across the rest of the state, you are seeing a lot of cloud cover, but it's not so bad in terms of temperatures. You're in the upper 30s, low to mid 40s right now. So no frost or anything like that. You may have some scattered frost in a couple spots, but the vast majority of us do not have any frost out there. And it's going to warm up to the 50s as we go on for the day today. So a little cooler than yesterday, of course, but that's not too hard to do. Yesterday was into the 60s to near 70. Just a beautiful day to be outside yesterday. Not so much today. The wind coming from the north, essentially fairly light, around 3 to 5 miles per hour, calm for a good chunk of the state as well. There's that rain just off to our west. It's right around the Hudson Valley now. It's going to take its time getting here. We have some fairly dry air in place. And as we go on for the next few hours, by around 9 or 10 o'clock, we may see a couple of those showers starting to move into western Connecticut. So during the day today, just have the rain jacket, have the umbrella nearby, but a good chunk of you will not need it for most of the day. So it's a mainly dry day with the exception of those showers here and there. And as I mentioned, not a soaker or a major washout. Even as late as around 6 p.m., you could still see a few of those showers around the area, and then it clears out as we go on for the night tonight and into tomorrow morning. So here's how it breaks down. The sun came up at 6:34, temperatures in the 50s, scattered showers here and there, and the sun going down at 4:35 with those mostly cloudy skies. And by tonight, we clear it out and we get a little colder. Temperatures dropping down to the 30s tonight and a little bit of frost as well. As we go on for tomorrow, mostly sunny, so a very nice day. And of course, we will continue this dry weather all the way through this weekend. We'll talk all about that in the 7-day forecast coming up in just a little bit. All right, out to the roads now. Rachel Lutzker's here. Rach, what's going on?
All right, we've got a number of problems, Dan. Let's start with an issue that has popped up along 395. This is coming in to the Plainfield area. This is 395 southbound, exit 32. We've got delays that start from there down to about exit 29. We've also got problems in the Hartford area, northbound side of I-91 out by 35A and B for a crash. And let's quickly go outside. You see state police out there. This is the westbound side of 84. There was a single vehicle that crashed here. Left lane is blocked, as you'll notice the flares are set up there, but looks like another state police vehicle took this vehicle over to the right side. It's a little bit tough to see, but if you kind of make out the flashing lights above that overpass there, looks like they moved it over to the right shoulder. So we may see this left lane reopening shortly, hopefully, for the drive. But westbound side out through Farmington still looks pretty good. Eastbound 691 by exit 7 for a crash. It's now on the shoulder, but we're jammed from exit 3. 91 northbound off ramp at exit 20 is still shut down. There was a crash on Country Club Road. It was a car that hit a tree. It was a serious crash. We had Lifestar called to the scene. That ramp is still shut down, but the highway itself is open and moving through just fine. We're doing okay into New Haven along 91 and 95. Big delays into Fairfield County. You can take a look at your drive times there, both on 95 and Route 15. That's the Mattress Firm traffic report. Sleepy's is now Mattress Firm with more selection, service, and savings. Guys?
Well, election-wise, at the local level, there was a change up in the state Senate here in Connecticut.
Fox 61's Caitlin Gosley is standing by at our state capitol with those results. Caitlin, good morning.
Good morning to you. Yeah, the Republicans had been looking to take control of the state Senate here at our state capitol coming into this election. Now, they did get close to doing that, but not quite all the way there. And if they had been able to do that, it would have been the first time Republicans controlled the state Senate since Governor Rowland was in office back in 1997. Now, take a look at this rare scenario that we're now likely facing here in Connecticut. 18 Democrats and 18 Republicans elected in. This is according to the Hartford Courant. Democrats held a 21-15 majority prior to last night's election, but victories from Heather Summers from Groton, George Logan, a newcomer from Ansonia, and former Senator Len Suzio from Meriden looks to have changed that. Last night, both Democrats and Republicans agreed that they now have an even seat count in Senate based on these unofficial election results. Democrats are still considered, however, to hold the majority. That's because Lieutenant Governor Nancy Weinman is a Democrat, and she would break a tie with her vote being counted as the 19th in that chamber. Now, with that said, this is still a very new set of circumstances for our state Senate, something that we haven't seen. Even number of Democrats, even number of Republicans in that chamber in over a century. Last time, 1893. That's the latest here live in Hartford. Back to you guys.
Caitlin, thanks. Well, in the race for Connecticut's Senate seat, incumbent Senator Richard Blumenthal has been elected into a second term in a landslide victory over Bethel State Representative and GOP nominee Dan Carter. And we caught up with Senator at his campaign headquarters in downtown Hartford. He said he is going to use his second term to fight against special interests and also make sure the people are represented in Washington.
I'm going to continue fighting for ordinary Americans and middle-class families All too often these days in Washington, special interests and big corporations get their way. My job has always been to stand up to them and fight for the people of Connecticut.
Meantime, his challenger, Dan Carter, conceded the race just after 8:30 last night. He thanked his supporters and says that he was very proud of his campaign and he enjoyed every single second of it.
I've called Senator Blumenthal and congratulated him, and it was interesting. He said to me, he says, "I think I'll be seeing you around," and I think that's true. This doesn't end for us. We have a lot of work to the state to make it better. We know that things are rough, but tonight is a night that we'll watch the election results come in. We'll work together to move on from this night, and I'll be here working with you.
In running for Senate, Carter decided not to run for re-election for his seat in the state legislature. Carter says he is not sure yet if he'll run for office again. And another issue on the ballot in 5 states, recreational marijuana.
And we now know that at least 3 of the states have voted to legalize it. California, Nevada, and our neighbor to the north, Massachusetts, have legalized marijuana in what advocates have said is a reflection of the country's changing attitude towards the drug. As for the 5th state, Maine, the results there are still too close to call. Arizona is the one state that rejected the legalization of recreational marijuana. Before the vote, it was already legal in 4 states, Alaska, Colorado, Oregon, and Washington, as well as Washington, D.C.
7-11, stay with us. Much more ahead for you here on Good Day Connecticut. We're hearing from President Obama. He has a message for those of you who are disappointed in the election results. We're going to get to you when we come back. Stay with us.
Our democracy has always been rowdy and raucous. We've been through tough and divisive elections before, and we've always come out stronger for it.
New for you this morning, Hartford police have arrested a convicted felon in an apartment shooting where 7 kids were home. It happened yesterday on Wethersfield Avenue. 1 person was shot in the arm. Police arrested 21-year-old Yamil Rohena of Wethersfield. He was on parole from another firearms incident back in 2014. None of the kids in the apartment were hurt.
Well, no doubt President Barack Obama is disappointed in the election results. He had campaigned pretty hard for Hillary Clinton all over the country. But before it was announced that Donald Trump had won the presidency, President Obama put out a video message online for all of you out there who are upset with the results.
Our democracy has always been rowdy and raucous. We've been through tough and divisive elections before, and we've always come out stronger for it. That's what makes America special. The idea that while progress isn't guaranteed, each of us has the power to choose our path. And remember, no matter what happens, the sun will rise in the morning and America will still be the greatest nation on earth.
And that hopeful message was shared on BuzzFeed's Twitter account by the president late last night.